Look at this planter here. Which has some begonias in it. And that planter up there, a wren has decided to make a nest in there, so I can't do anything with that. And this is where I sit on my porch, and I'm sitting on my porch. And I have a lot of old plants, and there's my new terrarium that well, not new, my old terrarium that I replanted right there, so it looks pretty good. And these are all my little tiny pots. They come in during the winter, and you can see they're little small gardens, small like little miniature gardens, mostly cacti and succulents and things. Yeah, so pretty nice. Whoops, wrong way. And these are the pots at the end of the thing, and you can see I mowed. That's my new bonsai, which I'm training. You can look, and it's got like a wire on it. And my sister got me those two little birds to put in it. And let's see. And more, and something flowering. Oops. Alright. And so you can see I mowed, and there's some flowers down in here. These are our zinnias, which will fill up that spot by the end. And this guy, oh my God, he's parked in his own damn driveway. And his wife, you see, she parks in front of her house, in front of my house. And my dog, he's taking a poop. That's my bench. That's where I was sitting when I confronted him. And that's my spirea. Fido, don't go over there. And these are some little tiny flowers that I'll pick up. Some zinnias and cosmos, and I'll pick up some space here. And there's a rose bush that's doing pretty good. And then some shrubs and stuff. And some more flowers down there. And this is some lantana in there, and it's about to bloom. And let me get a good shot of the front yard. That's my mound, which is a catalpa tree that I planted because this woman on this side, that lives on this side of me, threatened to take down these trees, and I wanted to have a tree to shade my driveway from the heat. And that's a snowball bush, which really suffered last year from the heat and drought and everything, but it's coming back, so I'm happy. Pile that I left underneath his car. That's where it shall stay. There's all the water and shit. Oops. I don't really like the zoom on this thing. Okay, so here is a real nice picture of my house with the lawn mowed and everything, and with the edging all done, and my muck pile. But you can see, you know, it's real pretty because I'm putting it in the backyard. But here's where you come in my back gate, and it's an old house. Here's my beware of attack frog, and next to my screen door, which I had John put in. It used to have a storm door, but I wanted to have the sound of a screen door. And this little thing was my grandma's, and I need about 3 more little strange pots to put on there, and that'll look better. But that belonged to my grandmother, and that's why that's there. And there's my wheelbarrow for stuff, and a little cross. And that's where my dog is buried, my other dog. It was my little friend. I always put little flowers in there, and he always stands on his grave. Hey, silly. And then you come into my patio, and this is where I tend to smaller plants. I have a little, it used to be like a little miniature greenhouse, but a little cover broken, whatever. No clue what that is. Those are my pots this year, and that's a pot that belonged to John's mother, He's got a sweet potato plant, and that's a crystal that belonged to my grandfather. And here's a comfortable place to sit, right next to the pond. And I've done natural ponds, that were, but I decided to make this be kind of an extension of the patio, and I'm going to paint these a slate, or stain all this cement into a slate gray this year, I hope. And that's what it looks like though now. It's quite pretty. And if you look, there is a snapshot, there's a view, And then you have my little ghost town brick pathway. All these bricks I collected from ghost towns in Oklahoma. And let me see, there's like one from Sapulpa and so on. And Coffeyville, that's up in Kansas, but there's a lot of bricks. And that's my rose garden, which also, you get a really nice view from right here, you see. Nice view, almost picture, postcard, kind of perfect. And I had my tripod out this morning. And that's my Caminera and the dog's water dish. And that's my little potting bench where I pot up pots. And then that's what the back window looks like looking in, which I showed you what it looked like coming out. And I've got honeysuckle growing all around the windows. And that's the kitchen window, dining room window. And this is the little arbor. Come through the arbor and down this little path, which is no longer flooded. And you have this little, almost like a little tended garden here in the shade. And that's my bog. And it's about 18 inches deep and moist most of the time. And then you have a creek bed running this way. And eventually it will come out on the other side. And those are my two baby peach trees. And that little house back there was built by my neighbor. That's his artist studio. And he paints all those beautiful pictures of gardens with big fucking SUVs in the inside. My roses have about had it. May tweens is when there's not too much blooming. It's like in between when spring blooms and summer blooms come. So, and this is a rock garden. Eventually I want to have some prickly pear cactus and all that in there, some hardy cactus. And I've been working the soil. And I put some moss rose in there, but by the end of summer I'll get another picture of it and you'll see. And that's my bench that I sit on out here. Another little picture perfect. And that's my St. Francis of Assisi. And then you come back here around this tree into this little path. You can stop barking at any time, Mr. Bench. That's one of my apple trees. And the sun's kind of shining. That's my outhouse, which is actually a shed for tools, a tool shed. I've got some little pots. And then this is, that's going to have some real nice roses pretty soon. And then you can see my little brick pathway walking down the path. It's just all old bricks, and I want it to look like it's about 1,000 years old. And so far it's doing pretty good. And that's it. My beautiful garden. Getting there. Every year I add a little bit to it. Got these two huge pecan trees, which will drop pecans all over the place. And then my bridge again. That's it.